Volvo Car Open Update is brought to you by Hendrick Volvo.
All right, it's day 4 of the Volvo Car Open.
Let's check in with our sports director, Scott Eisberg. He's on Daniel Island tonight.
Our daily 5 o'clock team up with Tennis Channel. Lindsay Davenport joining us today. An interesting tournament so far. Now a defending champion is out. Maria Sakkari just won. Belinda Bencic won earlier. They seem like names that could be making a rise in this tournament.
Yeah, you know, it's such an interesting time in women's tennis in general. We have this nice mix of established veterans, but also this new crop of players, and they're so good. And you're seeing it here again this year. And I don't know, I've kept my eye on Belinda Bencic for the first few months of this year. Watched her play here. She looked great today when she beat Taylor Townsend. I'm a big fan of hers and her game style. Wouldn't surprise me to see her go even further in this tournament.
When you look at the tournament, what are the keys to winning this thing? What do you have to do? How do you maintain? How do you sustain for these 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, it's such a big challenge for all these players. It's their first tournament on clay for the season. A lot of players haven't been on the surface since last May, maybe last June. So it always takes a little while for these players to get comfortable moving around the court. And I find it's the players that move really well on clay. The competition's always so tough here, so you have to be on your A game, which is one of the reasons why the tennis is so great here. But I think it takes a special athlete that's comfortable on clay and that can slide around and handle the circumstances.
Finally, we have some nice weather for a nice night match tonight. It should be perfect out there. Sloane Stephens had a battle temperature, she had a battle rain, she had a battle everything in her last match. She got through it. It took her a while, but she did get through it. What does Sloane have to do tonight to win this match?
I think that was a huge match for Sloane to get through the other day against Sorribes Tormo. 2 tie-break sets, very tough match. There have been a lot of days where Sloane Stephens does not win when she's not playing her best tennis. It was a fantastic example for Sloane of she played maybe B or C level tennis, but she found a way to win. That's so huge for Sloane, gives her so much confidence. Today she takes on Ajla Tomljanovic. Tomljanovic maybe a little bit injured. I don't know. I think a win like that for Sloane, I think that helps her push her all the way to the title, because I think when she proves to herself she can win when she's not playing her best, I think it goes a long way for her for the rest of the tournament.
That is Lindsay Davenport from Tennis Channel. Catch their coverage first ball to last ball all tournament long, and they'll join us every day at 5 o'clock.
Scotty, thank you. A flight delay at Myrtle Beach International turned into a show.
This Volvo Car Open Update is brought to you by Hendrick Volvo.
Welcome back here at 5:30. The Volvo Car Open still going strong tonight.
Yep, let's check in with our sports director, Scott Eisberg. He's on Daniel Island.
Joined now by Tennis Channel's Tracy Austin. She just called the Shelby Rogers match. Heartbreak for folks in Charleston, but what a match it was.
It was incredible. I think that if you had told Shelby she would be able to play this well at the beginning of the tournament, she probably would have taken it. But of course, once you get to match point against Ostapenko, a former runner-up here, and you're not able to convert, this is going to sting. I think it's going to be a hard one to get over. Hopefully, she'll be able to look back and realize that she hadn't played a match in 13 months, came out in the first round, won in straight sets. You know, overall, she'll look at it positively.
When you look at that match and it came down to those final few games, do you think it was fatigue taking over? Could it have been the injury taking over? Or do you think Ostapenko just upped her game a little bit?
I think it was a couple of different things. I think Ostapenko has so much experience that she was able to elevate her game, but I also think at 5-1, Shelby hasn't played a lot of matches. This is just her second match in 13 months, and so, you know, she didn't have the instincts to pull from. I think she got a little bit nervous. She pulled back a little, and when you pull back, your balls land a little shorter. Ostapenko had more time. You know, it's kind of unfair to expect someone to play a sustained level at such a high level like Shelby when you don't have those matches under your belt.
As far as Charleston players go, Jessica Pegula, who used to live here, she's still in. Emma Navarro and Shelby Rogers are now out. For Charleston fans, certainly plenty will be rooting for Madison Keys tonight. What should they expect in this match tonight?
Well, against Madison Keys, she's playing Tatiana Maria, who beat Sloane Stephens in Miami a couple of weeks ago. She's a very crafty player, a lot of different spins that really put Sloane Stephens out of her game, out of her rhythm. So very similar styles of play. So Madison's had a kind of a slow start for 2019. She's got to go out there, have a quick start, be very clear on her game plan, and keep the unforced errors down.
Tracy Austin from Tennis Channel, thanks so much for your insight. Tennis Channel joining us every day at 5 o'clock on ABC News 4.
Our Open Update is brought to you by Hendrick Volvo.
All right, the conditions start out a bit wet today. The sun came out, dried up the courts, and gave us a beautiful afternoon for tennis. Scott Eisberg is standing by with somebody there to your right. Scotty, who's that you got there with you?
I don't know. Hi, what's your name?
Dare.
Dare?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Dare?
Wilmington.
Wow, she came all the way from Wilmington, Delaware, or North Carolina? North Carolina, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Hey,
and she's
Scotty.
got friends, too. They think they're on the tennis channel right now.
Yeah, they are.
They're not on the tennis channel. They're on Channel 4. They can't see that in Wilmington, but it doesn't matter.
Scotty, ask her right now if she wants your autograph.
Okay. Dean wants to know if you want my autograph.
Yes.
Not on your. I don't want to ruin the tennis ball. So if you get like a ticket stub, I'll sign that, but not the tennis ball because I don't want to ruin those. Those are like $15. I don't want to ruin those for you guys. 35? Holy smokes, 35, Dean. Are you buying that for the boys for their birthday? Is that the next birthday present?
Do you know how many balls I've bought for the boys in the last 22 years?
I can't even do 35 times 3. I think that's like 115 if my math
It's 105,
Regardless.
Einstein.
105, whatever. Stop it. You didn't tell me this would be a math test. Come on, Dino. That's not fair. That's not fair to make this a math test on me right now. Hey, it's a good night to come out tonight. It's a great night. It's gorgeous out right now for tennis tonight. I will tell you this. It is fantastic out. Everyone should come out, have some food, have some cocktails. I'm told there is no better way to run the bridge run than running it hungover. So I'm just saying it's a great night of tennis tonight to come out and enjoy Daniel Island. Not that I would know from experience because I've never run the bridge run. That has nothing to do with tonight's match. It's a really good one. Danielle Collins is the one to watch, Dino. She's the one you want to watch. University of Virginia product. Her basketball team, they're playing in the Final Four tomorrow. She wants to make the Final Four of this tournament. She's playing Monica Puig, and Collins kind of taking over the crowd. She's a former semi-finalist at the Australian Open, and she would certainly like to take that crowd tonight and propel them to the weekend.
I feel like I've definitely gained a lot of supporters and fans, which has been really nice, and having a lot of people come out and support me at matches. It's just different. You know, a couple years ago, I was playing like 60Ks and 25Ks in the middle of nowhere where there'd be like 2 or 3 people that would show up. So it's so nice to have a strong following and people that are supporting me.
What has the town been like for you for the first time?
The tournament does such a great job with the hospitality and showing us around, and we went down to the Battery and hit some balls and some different spots there for the iconic photo, and the restaurants have been amazing. We've been eating really good meals. So yeah, it's just a really fun place to play.
So that match will start at 7 o'clock tonight. Girls, who are you rooting for? You rooting for Danielle Collins tonight? Monica Puig? Just pick one. It doesn't matter.
Danielle Collins.
Naturally, Danielle Collins. Naturally, Dino. That's the one they're pulling for here on Danielle. How old are you guys, by the way?
12.
They're 12. Dean, do you have a 12-year-old? Send Sam out here tonight. Look at this is great. They're all into tennis. You like tennis. Send Sam out here.
Sam's 14, but thank you. He's a little too young for Sam. But I appreciate
14, whatever.
ScottMatchmaker.com.
Listen, he could get some money off his autograph.
Whatever.
You like that?
Yeah.
This Volvo Car Open Update is brought to you by Hendrick Volvo.
It's Friday, so it's our final 5 o'clock team up with Tennis Channel. Steve Weissman joining us right now. We are whittling it down right now, but Caroline Wozniacki is through to the weekend, obviously a crowd favorite. What have you seen from her so far as she adapts to clay?
She's played fantastic tennis. She's got Francesca Schiavone with her this week, who's a former Roland Garros champion. They've just teamed up, said they were both in Miami, asked her if she'd help her. So Francesca's been here, obviously a great clay court player, and Caroline wants to improve on this surface. This is her first semifinal of the year. She's dealt with viral illnesses. She said last year that she has rheumatoid arthritis. So just getting her healthy has been a big deal, and Caroline says she's very healthy. She's happy off of the court, and now she's into the semifinals at 6-2, 6-2 against Sakkari today. today, but it wasn't as easy as that. It took 5 match points, and that final game was 16 minutes. So a tough effort by Wozniacki, but she's a former champion here and back to the Final Four.
She's obviously one that has been there, done that. Now, do you think she has the stamina to get through the weekend? Obviously coming off the illness and everything. Do you think she can get through 2 more matches this weekend?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the best I've seen Caroline move on a court in a long time. And so if she's healthy, why not? I mean, former world #1. She's now a Grand Slam champion. She checks off all of the boxes. I think she's a legitimate contender to take home this title.
All right, so Virginia is in the Final Four. They're playing tomorrow night. There is a Virginia Cavalier here. I believe a 2-time champion, NCAA champion, Danielle Collins. She is certainly a popular American these days. She is a rising star. She's going to take Stadium Court tonight. What should people expect to see in that match against Monica Puig?
So she's in the Elite Eight. Actually, I asked her the other day, I was like, so if you make the Final Four here, that's on Saturday, and Virginia plays. She's like, are you going to ask Bob Moran to get you a better
Moran will hook her up.
Yeah, totally. But Danielle's been playing great into the quarterfinals of a clay court event for the first time in her career, which may be surprising because she grew up in Florida, has played on the green clay her whole life. In fact, 2 years ago, she was here in Charleston, but she was playing that 60K event, got to the final, lost to Madison Brangle. This year, they meet in the first round. She beats Brangle, and now she's into the quarterfinals, playing with a whole lot of confidence. Monica Puig is a player who 3 years ago won the Olympic gold medal in Rio and was at the top of her game. Since then, has had some ups and downs, but at the beginning of this year, she hooked up with Kamau Murray to get as a new head coach. And Kamau Murray was Sloane Stephens' coach in the past and has brought a lot of fun.
Beautiful. Steve Wiseman from Tennis Channel. Watch them first ball to last ball coverage. It's our last 5 o'clock team up, but we will hear from them this weekend as we get ready for the Final Four.
All right, Scotty, this warm weather has us all.
Daily team up with Sinclair's own Tennis Channel. Chanda Rubin here, just called the match. We have an interesting day here at the Volvo Car Open. Cold, windy, blustery. How tough is it for the players that are out there on the court?
Well, it makes for very heavy conditions, and the balls don't go through the court as quickly. Everybody can get a little bit frustrated. The courts are really, I'd say really cakey, if I can use that description. So sometimes you dig in, it can be tough to move out there. So I think it was important for every player out there to try to get a good start, to try to get the muscles going, get warm, and have that energy they needed at the beginning of the match, even if they had to manufacture it a little bit. And I think for the most part, players did a good job with it.
What a cool night it is for us tonight. Ashley Hall Jr., Emma Navarro will play on Stadium Court, 7 o'clock. Her dad, Ben Navarro, the owner of this tournament. But that's not why she's playing. She earned her way in here. This is her first WTA Tour event. How cool is this for her? How tough is this for her? And how nerve-wracking do you think this is for her?
Well, it's so exciting when you play your first big WTA event, your first main draw match, and you have an opportunity, to get a win against a professional. And for a young player, for a teenager, that's such a big moment. I think for Emma, she won the Easter Bowl, and so she's got some confidence. She has some belief in her game, but it's going to be at a different level. So there's a little bit of uncertainty for her, I'm sure, but hopefully she can go out, she can relax as early as possible, get into her tennis, get the legs moving. That's the main piece of advice I would give. And also to just enjoy the moment and just let her tennis flow. Don't worry about winning and losing, and you're going to play your best tennis that way.
If you're her, do you start studying Laura Siegemund, or is that just too much? You just have to concentrate on yourself?
Well, I think you'd want to get some tips, some pointers, get an idea of how she plays so you kind of know what to expect, especially with a player like Siegemund who can throw in the changes of pace. She has a good variety. She can hit the drop shot, and she can really make life uncomfortable out there. So if you're expecting it and you kind of know a little bit of what's going to come at you, I think you can deal with it a little bit better.
That is Tennis Channel. Chanda Rubin. Catch their coverage first ball to last ball the entire week here in Charleston. They're teaming up with us every day at 5 o'clock.
At 5 starts now. This Volvo Car Open update is brought to you by Hendrick Volvo.
The Volvo Car Open is in full swing, and tonight we are getting a look at what went down on the court today.
Our sports director, Scott Eisberg, is at Volvo Car Stadium with the very latest tonight. Scotty?
Another year teaming up with Sinclair-owned Tennis Channel, joined now by Steve Weisman, Tennis Channel commentator here. I think you said you've worked 42 straight days. It lands you in Charleston, yes. But you've got a good tournament to watch.
A fantastic tournament. Look forward to coming to Charleston every year. You come for the tennis, you stay for the food. I've already got a bunch of restaurants picked out that I'm excited to go to. But day one, I mean, we've got the Charleston native, Shelby Rogers, playing some great tennis. Excited to see her come back. We've got 5 former champions here. Half of the top 20 is in Charleston. The road to Roland Garros starts right here.
No question about it. Obviously, clay is the key. Players getting accustomed to clay, used to clay. Shelby is just getting accustomed to playing tennis, and she's playing pretty well. Did you expect her to come out of the rip like she did today?
I mean, I did personally, but, you know, you never know with the nerves, playing in front of the hometown fans as well. I've seen her recovery, her process, her rehab. Her coach lives in Manhattan Beach, which is close to where I live. We're friends. And so I've seen Shelby go through all of this, and it's been tough because I know how much she loves tennis. I know how much she wants to be out on the court. And so it was a long process, and I'm so happy for her, and I hope it comes out well.
A couple of former defending champs here. Kiki Burton is last year's champ. Sloane Stephens from 3 years ago. Caroline Wozniacki back in 2011. They're all in the field this year. Would you say 3 of them certainly favorites to come out on top on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players that could win on Sunday. Any tournament Sloane enters, any tournament Madison Keys enters, they can win at the end of the week. So Kiki Burton's, I mean, last year she comes here and really just blows up, you know, wins this event, then wins Cincinnati and goes into the top 10, makes the WTA finals. So certainly I think she's happy to be back on the clay as well.
Great story for us because she's a junior at Ashley Hall School, Emma Navarro. Great story for you because her dad owns the tournament. Great story for tennis fans because she's a young up-and-comer. Yeah. What did you think about Emma meeting her on the set and getting to kind of chat with her? And have you seen any of her game yet?
I haven't seen her game. It was awesome to meet her and her dad. Such a lovely girl. Obviously, you mentioned goes to regular school. Yeah. Just 24 hours ago, won the Easter Bowl, singles and doubles in Indian Wells, and now she's here, and tomorrow night is going to make her WTA main draw debut. I think it's so cool that she gets to do it in front of the whole, you know, hometown fans. Not only that, she earned it, Scott. I mean, she won the clay courts in Mount Pleasant last year. This is no gift wild card. She earned her spot here, and I'm excited to watch Emma play.
Steve Weisman from Tennis Channel. Watch them all week, first ball to last ball coverage, and of course, they'll be joining us all week long at 5 o'clock.
We had quite the cold start to the day. Tomorrow, though, could be cold